Let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, because what they're doing right now is flat out delusional. They sat on their hands while Trae Young just got shipped out for spare change, nickels and dimes. Then, almost like clockwork, they leaked to Shams that for the first time, the Grizz are actually considering trading John Morant before the deadline. Oh, now you're open to it? Give me a break. This is classic posturing, a desperate move after missing the boat. No smart execs are buying it. And yet, here come the Grizzlies, clinging to this fantasy that they'll get a haul of draft picks and young players in return. Wake up, the market's spoken. Let's look at the reality. What draft picks and young players are we even talking about? Trae Young just went for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. That's it. Not some blue chip prospect, not a treasure trove of picks. If you're the Grizzlies, you can't just ignore that and expect teams will suddenly lose their minds over Ja. It's like your neighbor just sold their house for $200,000 and you're insisting yours is worth $1 million. It's pure fantasy. Good luck with that, but honestly, the Grizzlies might not even have a real choice here. ESPN's Michael Wright says the team has already told people Ja's not suiting up in Memphis again. That lines up with what KD said too. Now, maybe you think teams would be crazy to chase Ja given the circus, but Shams still threw out a list of 5 potential landing spots. So, let's break down what's real and what's smoke. But which of those teams are actually realistic? Let's be honest about how we got here. Ja was suspended by the Grizzlies earlier this season for publicly blaming his coach after a loss to the Lakers. He was sulking on the court, burning timeouts like a $40 million a year toddler. That's the message, right? But here's what happened next. After the game, Coach Thomas Solo, straight out of Europe, bringing his own brand of tough love, calls out Ja in front of the whole locker room. He tells him, point blank,
"You're holding us back.
You can choose to behave in this way. You're hurting all of us, you know? So you're not responsible to me. I'm just telling you that this is how the other guys feel about you. So you can go ahead being a okay? But everybody here knows it, and we just tackled everything head on, you know? We started okay, let's just be brutally honest. What's the worst thing that can happen?
But let's be real. Here's the nightmare scenario. Your star turns on the coach and suddenly it's a showdown. Who does the franchise back? This isn't Europe, where you can bench a diva and move on. NBA stars move merch, sell tickets, and shape entire brands. A superstar in Memphis is worth 1 million sneakers. That's real leverage. A true professional would respond to that challenge. But Ja, this is the same guy who flashed a gun gesture after being suspended for, you guessed it, a gun incident. That approach was never going to work on him, and that's part of what's tanking his value on the trade market. The thing is, Ja absolutely exploded in 2022, his 3rd year in the league. People forget he was the 2nd overall pick, a highlight machine, and in 2022, he won Most Improved Player. That season, 27 points a night, jaw-dropping dunks, the whole offense orbiting around him. He was an all-star back-to-back. But then, the wheels fell off. Suspensions, injuries. His career started unraveling in real time. Seriously, he's missed half the games since then. The Grizzlies had to adapt, building an offense that moved away from Ja's style. Translation, we love you, but we can't count on you. Coach Taylor Jenkins brought in Noah LaRoche, switched to a heavy ISO system, and it blew up in their faces. Jenkins got fired. Ja hated the rotation and the result. One of Morant's ugliest seasons yet. Ja's putting up just 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 assists a night. Sure, he's only playing 28 minutes a game, but that doesn't excuse his efficiency. 40% from the field, 21% from deep. That's not about playing time. That's just bad basketball. And the turnovers? Through the roof. This is brutal to watch. Once again, Ja blames the coach. But it's clear, the Grizzlies have chosen the coach over their star. So what's next? Trae Young just set the market, and it's ugly for teams hoping for a king's ransom. Yes, Trae and Ja are different players, but let's not pretend Ja's going to fetch more. Trae was traded for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, and he's got a $49 million player option looming. Ja, meanwhile, is locked in for another guaranteed year. It's not a supermax deal, but let's be honest. His reputation and his actual value are worlds apart right now. Both Trae and Ja are ball dominant, inefficient, and tough to build around. Ja even more so at this moment, so what kind of team would even want him? He needs shooters everywhere to give him space to attack the rim, and elite defenders to cover for his own lapses. He's not plug and play like a Kevin Durant. This isn't a guy who fits anywhere. You have to build a system around him, like Giannis, but without the defense. Bottom line, we're talking about a high-maintenance player with maturity issues. Who's signing up for that? Not many teams, apparently. Kelly Iko, an actual plugged-in reporter, says the Rockets are out. Flat out, not interested. Meanwhile, you've got some randoms online claiming the Bucks are circling for Ja. Please. The Bucks are still all in on winning with Giannis. But let's get real. Who is this Evan Sidery guy? No disrespect, but his bio says NBA reporter for nobody. His only link is a dead YouTube channel. This isn't news. It's speculation from a guy with zero receipts. He's not reporting. He's guessing. Oh, the Bucks have Ryan Rollins and a 2031 pick, so maybe talks heat up. Based on what? Did you talk to the Bucks? Did you break any news like Kelly Iko did with the Rockets? No. This is wild speculation from a self-appointed NBA insider. Again, nothing personal, but calling yourself a reporter while pushing pure guesswork is misleading. And let's get this straight. The Bucks would be a disastrous fit for John Morant. He can't shoot threes. Giannis doesn't space the floor. And Giannis needs the ball. It's a train wreck waiting to happen. Giannis and Dame couldn't even make it work together. What makes you think Giannis and Ja would? Cross the Bucks off the list. Reality check. 29 teams already passed on Trae Young at a bargain price. Who's actually saying yes to Ja? Maybe Minnesota, maybe Sacramento. Both need a point guard. Both need a shot of playmaking. The Kings actually have assets to make something happen. Picks. Young guys like Keon Ellis. Maybe they take a swing. Minnesota? Anthony Edwards needs a legit backcourt partner, especially after Rob Dillingham flamed out. What about the Clippers? They're desperate. They've got some young guys getting minutes, sure, but the math doesn't work. The Clippers get Ja. The Grizzlies get a pile of contracts and a 2032 first, but LA can't move another first rounder. If Memphis is dead set on picks, it's a non-starter. And let's be real, James Harden and John Morant on the same team would be a disaster. Bottom line, the Grizzlies are wildly overvaluing what they can get for Ja, especially after seeing what Trae Young fetched. And right after all this noise, Shams quietly tweets that, oh, by the way, the Grizzlies are also open to just keeping Ja as the center of their rebuild. How convenient. Of course they are. What else can they say? Meanwhile, they've managed to alienate Ja, who's now subtweeting and reposting like a teenager in meltdown mode. This is a mess, and it's not getting fixed anytime soon, because at first glance, the cheap price seemed ridiculous.